Hi, I'm Ash Kamath. In our system of Wu Tao Kun martial arts wellness, Qigong plays an important part. And Qigong has certain interesting things which today I'd like to share with you. There's a concept called Yi, Shen, and Qi. I may not get the Chinese pronunciations correct, but Yi means intention, Shen means spirit, and Qi, of course, you may be knowing, means energy. Yi is an intention, is like having an aim. Shen is spirit as in attitude, as in having positivity, staying away from negativity. And Qi is energy, energizing yourself as a result of these things. Let's take, for example, loneliness and solitude. These two are the same situation of a person's condition, but they're both very different. Loneliness is negative, solitude is positive. Great writings, poetry, song compositions have been done in solitude. When one is alone, one is able to think, focus, get more creative. Okay? Now, when a person is lonely, if we give him an intention, a direction, an aim to do something, the person acquires an attitude, a spirit, positivity. And when a person acquires a spirit of positivity and has an intention, that person is energized. So if we can give that to that person, so the person from loneliness evolves into solitude where he does more creative things. Now let's take, for example, someone having depression. How can we help that person? First thing is, we do understand that a person is having depression due to certain events in his life, certain causes, certain things that have happened, or certain negative things people have said. So the first thing is to isolate that person from negativity. Make him or her stay away from people saying negative things. After this person stays away from negative talk, we give this person an aim to do something. And the best aim when you have a problem, you are depressed, you're focusing on yourself, best thing is try to focus on other people. If you try to help someone else who's having a problem, you will tend to focus, have the intention to help that person. If that is your aim, you have your Yi, intention to help that person, then seeing that person happy will be your aim, right? So when you're helping that person, your spirit will become more positive. And when you see that person you've helped happy, you become more positive and you get energized towards doing more good to other people. So one of the best ways to get out of depression is to try to make other people happy. Find solutions for other people's problems, and you somehow forget your own problems, focus on other people's problems, and go on with life. This concept does exist in many other countries and cultures with different names. Let me know in the comments below if you've helped anybody with this particular concept. Many martial arts masters in ancient times taught their students wisdom through Zen stories. So there was this one particular student who approached his master and asked him, what is the experience of heaven and what is the experience of hell? So the master told him a story of a samurai warrior. He said there was once a samurai warrior who lived on the outskirts of the village with his wife in a small cottage. From time to time, when he was called for battle or training, he would go to the king's palace and train with the soldiers and go out to battle. And then he was given time to go home, and he used to go home. So one particular day he was called to battle, and he told his wife, and he started off with his horse and went off to the king's palace where he joined the army. They prepared for the war and went off to battle, and that lasted for a few weeks. So after the battle was over, he was all tired and he returned back to the king's palace with the army, and then with his horse he started his journey to the outskirts of the village, in which he lived to meet his wife. It became dark, and the full moon came out. And there were clouds. Sometimes the clouds used to cover the moon, sometimes he would see the full moonlight. As he reached his cottage, he wanted to surprise his wife, so he slowly unlocked the door, opened it, and got in. And then he slowly tiptoed, walked silently to his bedroom where his wife was sleeping. On the bed, he found two people sleeping. Besides his wife, there was a heavy-set person, slightly heavier, sleeping next to her. She got angry. He was very, very angry. How dare his wife sleep with someone else in his absence? So he came out of the room, took his sword out, went in with the intention of chopping the head of the person sleeping next to his wife. He went closer and closer. There was a window, and through this window, the moonlight used to come, but at that point, the moon was covered by a cloud. As he approached the person sleeping next to his wife, he had his sword ready. He was full of rage, angry. And he started launching the sword towards this person's neck. As the sword came close to the neck, there was a slight breeze, and the cloth, the bedsheet covering the person's face, was blown away from the face. And at that moment, the cloud covering the moon shifted away, and the full moonlight came in through the window. He saw the person sleeping next to his wife was his wife's mother, his mother-in-law. So he was able to stop the sword inches away from cutting the neck. At that moment, he felt remorse, anguish that he had misunderstood his wife, happiness and gladness that his wife was faithful to him. He was grateful that his mother-in-law was visiting his wife in his absence so she could help her. And that gratefulness he experienced. He went out, kept the sword back in its storage, and sat down with a sigh of relief. And he had a good night's sleep. That's a story, said the master. When the samurai had the sword, full of anger, anguish, and was about to kill this person sleeping next to his wife, that was an experience of hell. And the moment during which he realization came that it was his mother-in-law, his wife's mother, sleeping next to him. And the remorse he felt, the regret he felt, and the gratefulness he felt at that time. And happiness he felt that he was stopped from doing something very, very bad. That feeling is the experience of heaven. Now think about this, he told his student. This is what will make you understand the difference between the experience of hell and heaven. Think about it. The old classical systems of martial arts have healing as well as the mind training aspects as part of their curriculum. Students first learn the physical aspect, then move on to the technical, and then the mental, and finally the spiritual aspect of martial arts. These days, unfortunately, because of the overemphasis on the physical aspects, the other aspects are forgotten or underemphasized or in some styles lost.